Streetbeefs family, what's up, y'all? Face with ya. Getting ready to go fishing. Just watch my Ravens punish the Cleveland Browns. We 3-1 now. I know Steeler fans, Bengals fans, they don't like that. You know, Pittsburgh, we coming for you next. This just a random, totally random ass video where I give a few thoughts. First, we got a big event coming up this weekend. A bunch of regulars fighting. I'm boxing. Shout out to Dad Bod. We got Man in the Mirror. A couple of my sons fighting. Money Meal. But just a bunch of people. A bunch of people coming out fighting. Going to be a great event. This is totally, though, off the subject of street beefs, but on the subject of boxing. So I went on to a video of Deontay Wilder sparring with a young 19-year-old boxer. It's several years. It's really old, like maybe 7, 8 years old. And, first of all, it's sparring. Let's start with that. A good boxer in sparring is not trying to win the sparring match as much as they're working on stuff. That's what sparring's supposed to be. Plus, in sparring, you're not supposed to be trying to KO your opponent, and KOing people is what Deontay Wilder does. So, kind of, sparring don't showcase his best abilities, right? Well, I go in the comments, and of course, I'm reading the regular drivel about Wilder not being able to fight. He can't box. He's trash, so on and so forth. Well, I'm sorry. You don't get a 80+% KO percentage as a pro if you can't fight. That's one. Okay. You don't make it to be a world champion on any level if you can't fight. That's two. Okay. But then they fucked up in my book, because I'm reading down the comments and somebody was like, name me another boxer who can't box. And somebody said, George Foreman. Okay, listen, first of all, don't put George Foreman and Deontay Wilder in the same breath. Prime George Foreman smokes Wilder. 40-year-old Foreman smokes Wilder. That's real talk. But here's the thing. Back to Wilder. I happen to respect his boxing ability. And I want to say to y'all, somebody said, how can you be a boxer? How is Wilder a boxer and he can't box? But he obviously can box because he won most of his boxing matches. And I think that people have forgotten. They think that boxing is, you only know how to box if you're moving, dancing, defending shots, so on and so forth. No. In the end, boxing is the art of hit and don't get hit. But above that, it's the art of winning the match by any means necessary. Okay? Whether they call you a boxer or a brawler, whatever, if Wilder is winning 95% of his pro boxing matches, because after all, who else beat him? Fury. So he's beat pretty much everybody he's faced. I would say he can box pretty well. And that takes me back to Foreman. They tried to say the same stuff about Foreman coming up, which there's some good videos on YouTube, if you go look them up, of George Foreman's technique being analyzed and broken down. Look, I can promise you he is 10 times more technical than Wilder. That's one. Anybody, listen, if you go right now, I challenge y'all to do this. Go Google list of top 10 boxing heavyweights all time. George Foreman is always in the top 5. And a lot of times he's in the top 3. Okay? Why? Because he was a savage puncher, but he could box too. All right? But the thing about it is, I just don't get the saying, this guy boxes, but he can't box. If you're putting on gloves and winning a boxing match, you're boxing, and you can box, okay? Especially at a high pro level, like Wilder is doing it. You know, I think guys feel like in order to be considered a good boxer, you got to be a defensive specialist like Mayweather, or you got to have that combination of offense and defense like Mike Tyson. But in the end, the goal of a boxing match is to win a boxing match, right? So if you're coming out winning the boxing match, you succeed as a boxer and you can box. You know, is there different styles of boxing? Yes. I always hate how they say, oh, well, this guy's a boxer, this guy's a brawler puncher. Look, this guy's a more technical fighter. They're both boxers, okay? Whether you consider his style brawling or not, in the end, when they put on those boxing gloves and get in the square circle, they're both boxers, right? One may be more technical than the other, but it's still all boxing. And let's not forget, okay, let's not forget, people always talk about Fury beating Wilder, which again, and I may be mistaken, there may be one more, but I don't think. Fury's the only one that's ever beat Wilder, okay? That's first of all. Secondly, let's not forget, in all three of those fights, Wilder outweighed Fury. Fury outweighed Wilder by like 40 pounds. I get it, that's the heavyweight division, but I've always thought that was BS, that heavyweight could have that big of a gap in weight. He outweighed him by like 40 pounds in all of those fights, and trust me, that shit matters, okay? But aside from that, let's not forget, in their first fight, Wilder dropped Fury so savagely, a lot of people are still surprised Fury got up, in the speed that he did. Second fight, Wilder got dominated. Nobody disputes that. Third fight, he dropped Fury twice. So it wasn't like, Wilder never had his moments in these fights. And that was at being a 40-pound weight disadvantage. If he couldn't box at all, trust me, there's big guys that come into the gym that are big, powerful, and can hit like a train that never landed. Like, you take Money Meal, for example. We'll take Money Meal. We'll see a big, strong youngin' come in who don't know how to box. Let Meal work with him. And youngin' will be throwing as hard as he can. Just, the kid hits hard, but he can't land. Okay? My point is this. If all Wilder could do is hit hard, he would have never dropped a great boxer like Tyson Fury 3 different times. Never would have happened. Okay? I know what y'all think. Oh, well, they were 3 lucky punches. Bullshit. Bullshit. Who else has dropped Fury? There's only a few. Okay? So the fact that Wilder has dropped him 3 different times, I think you guys are shitting on his boxing ability a little too much. But regardless, I'm not a Wilder fan, but don't ever put George Foreman, ever put that man in the same sentence as Wilder. Because while I respect Wilder, George Foreman, he one of the GOATs, for real. I could do a whole 50-minute video on him, I'm definitely a Foreman fanboy, I ain't gonna front. But, in the end, anybody that gets in there and boxes and wins boxing matches is a boxer. Hate it or love it. Hey, listen, thanks for the support. I say it all the time. Y'all are the best fan base on planet Earth. Best members. We just appreciate the support. Big event coming next Saturday. See y'all soon. Peace.